Hey, welcome back. This is my YouTube channel. No one really cares about but me. That's good. So on today's episode, back working on Angus. As you guys remembered, we put an Alice in it. Fired it up. It went click, 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 click. Well, let me show you the video. Okay, take two. See? So today we're gonna fix that because yep, Trunion upgrade. Let's get into it. What the hell is that? So for those asking what the hell is a Trunion upgrade, well, inside this here LS, there's a valve cover. Open up the valve cover, there's rockers in there. The rockers, they go clack, clack, click, clack, click, clack, click, clack for opening and closing valves. On those valves, they need rockers to go click, clack, click, clack, click, 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 as I already mentioned. This goes inside that rocker because this is the pivot point that helps that rocker rock back and forth. Crack, 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 or click, 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 click. What ends up happening is there's bearings on each side of these. They go on there on the rocker inside the engine. They get loose, so the clicking is actually the rocker going click, 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 click. At least that's what I hope so. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull off valve covers, both sides, replace it, the cheapest set I found on eBay, and press in the new bearings. Now these bearings, they are similar to a U-joint. You can see they have little needle bearings in them. This of course is for 1, 2, 3, 4. This is for 4. You got one for each side. So yeah, they're done. I'm assuming there's a way because there's a side there and there's a side there. First we got to start by ripping the motor apart, and I'm going to start on this side because it is the easiest side to rip apart. Get to it. So, in order to start, we got to take off our these things, the spark shooter majiggers, which simple, unplug already. We'll set that off to the side. I did go ahead and secure these, so now we're gonna have to find a screwdriver and, unsecure them. Not prepared. Shocking. And those simply release by, jamming them around a little bit, doing something like that. Do something like that. Both sides. Come on, here we go. Okay. So now that that's up out of the way, that should be about the only real things we got to unplug. At least it was on the engineer side there. Driver side for the slow. So then, what do we got here? 10 mils, something like that. Well, why would I put an 8 mil on there if it's 10 mil? They got a couple 10 mils, or might have more than one. I don't know. I think I only have like 2 in there because I was lazy. Thankfully. Where's the other one? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I only put 2 in. Yeah, I only got 2 in there. Go me. So you can go ahead and, come. Get off here. Come on. We'll remove your coil pack thinger, majigger. And then you got 8 mils for your valve cover. So let's pull those off now. At least I'm pretty sure it's 8 mil. Last I checked it was, so. And this is, well, I guess we got this hose unplugged too. And that is as simple as, there you go. So that took all a matter of 2 minutes. So these are our rockers. You can see they're loose. That one's tight. But when they are on one of the strokes, that's the clickety-clackety that we hear. That trunnion we're going to replace is on the inside here. And we're going to press out the old bearings, put in the new ones, put in a new trunnion support. That's it. So now we got to start by, we're going to do one at a time. Pull them off, push them in, put them back together. So these are torqued to 22 foot-pounds. It is just another 8mm. Well, that sucked. So before I was crudely interrupted there by that braking, like I mentioned, these are 8mm, torqued down to 22 foot-pounds. Yep, 22 foot-pounds. And they just simply come off. Like so. Pull the old stuff out. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in a bucket of stuff to clean it up. Lift the rocker off, and there you go. Yeah, and that's where your clicking's coming from. So we want to eliminate that, because once these fail, those needle bearings get all inside the motor here, and they just kind of go to hell. So we're going to do one at a time. So I'm going to get you guys set up over here on my press, and we'll press them in and press out the old ones and press the new ones in. So you can see we have our new trunnions laid out here. You're going to have 16 of them, because of course you're going to have 2 rockers per cylinder. One's exhaust, one's the intake. And with that, you're going to have 32 bearings to press in, 2 for each side on each one of your trunnions. You're also going to have to have 32 of these C-clips, because those are what actually hold the new trunnion inside the old, or the rocker there. And we did get new stud hardware that will, of course, hold on our stud. I am short 2 of these. Now the trunnion, we're going to have to press out this. It does come with a set of washers, so we don't overexert our trunnion into the new seat it's going to sit. But we're going to have to find a socket that pushes this out. And these are pretty similar to a U-joint. If you've ever done a U-joint, you're going to have to press it out, pop the the bushing out, take it off, do the same on the other side. So for that, I do have what they call an arbor press. It's a 1-ton. It's got an adjustable plate right here where you can fit stuff, including these washers, on smaller stuffs, and you're not going to, press. Yeah, it's a press. We've all seen presses. So you can utilize that. But first, we got to take out the old stuff. So now that we're back on our presser majigger that spins, all sorts of fun. What I'm going to do is, I got a 22mm socket, and I have a 13mm, well, 1/2 inch for the slow socket. And we are going to take our trunnion. It's got 2 sides. It's got this flatter side, and we're going to put the flat side on there like so. Take our 13mm, put it underneath our press, and these stock bearings will just push right out. Like so. You can see the rocker, it's out. We're good to go now. You could see here too, those are those needle bearings that are in there. And when the stock bearing here tends to blow out, come out, whatever, those go on the motor. It's not good. It makes for a bad day. First, you want to take your new trunnion bushing there, and it's got writing on the one side. Put it out. And simply we're just going to go ahead and press this in. Like that. Simple and easy. Okay, now that we got our one pushed in, you can see it's got a little black ring to keep the needle bearing seated in there. We also got a little washer that we're gonna go ahead and just push on there. Take our trunnion, go ahead and install it, and we're going to carefully push it through, not to spill our needle bearings everywhere. Go ahead and give that a little push down. And what we're looking for is we want this snap ring clearance just sticking out of this other side. So we're going to take this bearing, carefully continue to push it down, or the rocker part, and it'll bottom out where the washer is, and that should give us our correct spacing for our snap ring, which you can see it did. So then we'll take the next bearing, of course, riding out, set that back on here, and we're going to want to again use our washer, kind of keep everything copacetic. Just carefully, you're going to go ahead and press this one in as well. And that up just a little bit more. And I'd say just be careful when you're pushing it down so you don't damage anything. There we go. So now our trunnion's reinstalled. Figured that would be a little bit more free moving than what it is, but it's moving. And you can see our guides are, you know, they're both exposed for our snap rings. So let me go grab the snap ring pliers and we'll snap that guy on. Okay, now I got snap ring pliers. We're gonna take our snap ring, put the pliers in the hole in the jigger, spread it out, and we're gonna pop it on there into the groove, let it off, and there you have it, seated. Flip it over, repeat. We're gonna do it on the other side. Like so. Make sure it's seated in there all the way, and we have ourselves a new installation of some trunnions. Well, unfortunately, I got to pause here because I'm missing parts out of that kit. And when I had that trunnion all in there set up, it felt like gravel or sand. I don't like that. So, sending them back, getting an actual quality kit. Well, as it would have it, you know, winter kind of arrived a little early. I can't make this up. Back to working on Angus. Well, as you guys saw, the white stuff is outside now. Anyway, my trunnion stuff showed up. Michigan Motorsports, MichiganMotorsports.com. Look them up on Amazon, whatever. I had nothing but good luck with these guys. Where I got all my bolts for my water pump and everything else for the LS. So I have full faith, confidence that this trunnion upgrade is going to be pretty good. So. Yep. There's the instructions if you want to follow them. There's how to do them. But we're going over that right now, so we'll just do that. So in this kit, we got our washers, just like in our Chinese version there. Have our bushings. Looks like we have probably 32 of them, I would hope. We got the trunnions. We got our boltages, and we got our clippages. So let's get into installing this thing again the right way. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Hey, look, 16 instead of 14. C-clips look bigger too. Cool. Yeah, good deal. So we already got the one here. Just gonna do it the same way. All right, so we got this side all done. I'm gonna move on to the engineer side, do that here. I'm not gonna do a time lapse on that. Just knock it off because I still gotta knock the all that stuff off and then pull the valve cover off and then get in there. And then we'll get into setting the valves. Okay, got the other side all done, all buttoned up. Now what you're going to want to do is any loose rockers that you have, like that do that, snug them up until they're taut like that, and they don't do that. Go all the way across. Both sides, we're going to rotate the engine probably like 90 degrees. Go through any loose ones, we're tighten them down. Another 90, same thing, go through, tighten them down. We're going to do it so the engine does it 2 revolutions, so these things are nice and tight. I'm going to call that good enough, and that should relash the valves up. So I'm going to go through, just snug it up here right now. I'm going to set the valve covers on it here really quick, just so I don't get any coolant on it. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tackle that water pump, get that knocked down, and gives me a little bit better access down to the crank housing too, so I can put the ratchet on that and get the engine to turn over. So I'm going to be doing that right now. Well, I got the nut off. Got it kind of strategically placed for the least amount of collateral damage. Now we just gotta, pop the pulley off. The washer fell somewhere in there. So, I don't want my radiator getting messed up. I don't want anything happening on the car. I guess I'm gonna go grab a big pry bar and get on the back side there and pop it off. Ugh, scary. 1, 2, 3. Don't look. Go. 1, 2, 3. Go. Go. Well, might have to do something else. Is it off? Yeah, it's off. Okay. Well, I just tapped it a little bit and boom, there it went. So now we can get rid of our fire blanket, shrapnel finger. Let's see what's up with that. Oh, that's broke. Interesting. Rest of it down here. Yeah, that tensioner was not long for this world if that thing was like that. Yeah, here. So the new water pump does not come with that, which goes right there. So we'll have to, like I say, get that ordered. But meantime, we can at least get the new water pump on, and we don't have to worry about leaking and whatever else. And we also can get down and turn our balancer there and get our valves lashed up. Check this one out. That one's still tight, so we're good there. All right, let's get into it.
You can see the riding on the pavement. Young kids, they're growing up in basements. Online, a whole new generation. I'ma make mine, so you better go take it. Always, they need a new replacement. Decentralized, can't contain it. We're changing lives, yeah, upgrading. Call it suicide of the older generation. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough.
Okay, so now you get your new water pump on. You want to make sure to torque them to 22 foot-pounds. Torqued, stripped, torqued, stripped. I think I'm kidding, I stripped them. And then reassemble as all the pipes and things allow. We do have to knock off our thermostat housing, but right now I want to get these valvers lashed. Let's do that. Okay, so we got our valve covers pulled back off, and we got our 24 millimeter on a 1/2 inch socket with an extension. And what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the engine over. And when we turn the engine over, you're going to see that the valves are going to move. And at this point, if you haven't gone through and wiggled them and snugged them up and tightened them and whatever else, you might want to do that. Also, I want to put a paint mark on my harmonic balancer so I know how many times it's gone around. So let's just put a little whoop mark there. Ready? You watching? Watch. Let's turn it over. Do you hear it doing things? So we got about a 1/4 turn on this. We're gonna go through, we're gonna find our loose ones. That was a little loose. Give it a snug. That one's really loose. Go ahead and snug that one up. repeat the process all the way around. We're going to do 2 full revolutions on this and see where we end up. So after you've gotten them all tightened up, spun them around, get in there and make sure that your push rods, when you can feel them, that they spin freely because you want them to rotate. If they don't rotate and spin in there, you got problems. That was a little chunky. So you want those to spin freely in there and just go around and make sure it's good to go and it's right. You don't have anything stupid. Houston, we may have a problem. So those are the push rods. This is on the lifter side. One is not like the other one. The one on the left is very shiny. The one on the right is very like, almost looks very like stainless steel. And it's not supposed to be that way. I'm also noticing that this side of the engine is very cleaned up more, I guess. Not so carboned up looking. Whereas this side is very dark and dull. So I did go ahead and pull that one out. Look at it. Yeah. Not happy. So I'm gonna maybe pull another one out on the other side next to it and see if maybe head gasket was done. They just did these while they were in there. I don't know. And kind of go from there. It's not wearing any different. I don't think it's spinning in there. But it wasn't spinning in there happy from what it sounded like. We might have a lifter that's failing in there too. Great. Frustration continues. Well, yeah, that one's the gooder one. So we definitely got troubles in number 2. So now I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go, because we could run it, blow it up, then we'll be back in here in a couple months. Well, be next spring, summer, fall, whatever. Or we can pull it out now, figure it out. We do have that rear main area that was leaking oil profusely. So I'm going to ponder on it here a bit. I'm not going to make any knee-jerk reactions right now. Decisions. I'll let you guys know. But at least we know how to do a Trunion upgrade in a water pump. That's neat. Thanks everyone for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment below. Tell me what you think I should do. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.